By the end of this week, the total government debt in Uganda would have crossed the 110 trillion. Now that's a new number. It's a new level. It's a new all-time high. It gets interesting when you notice that this year alone, in the financial year 2024-2025, the government is about to borrow close to 24 trillion from the domestic market. It gets more interesting when you notice that when you are to read the budget, the current budget for 2025-2026, the government is almost allocating 11 trillion plus to interest payment. It gets more interesting when you are to pay attention to that number and you notice that the government, that 11 trillion is almost 30% of what URA is projected to collect. All of those numbers, when you look them, all of them in tandem, you start to worry as a Ugandan and say, okay, are our debt levels reaching levels that we should start to pay attention a little bit more? Yes. 110 trillion debt. This is both domestic and external. It's interesting because the external has not so much moved. The external debt has almost significantly been the same for the last 2.5 years. But the domestic debt in 2023, towards the end of 2023, it was close to 30 trillion. 2.5 years later, we are almost crossing to 60 trillion. And when you look at the interest payments the government is about to dedicate to the domestic borrowing is close to 10 trillion plus. The debt servicing cost is about to almost cross 10 trillion for just the domestic debt. Yes, and I know at this point many people are going to ask, but Alex, you are promoting treasury bonds. Yes, I'm going to continue promoting treasury bonds. They are a capital product, a capital markets product. The risk, the skyrocketing treasury, domestic debt, or even both domestic government debt, domestic and foreign, it's leading to a skyrocketing interest rates we are seeing in the market. In the last auction this month, we saw a 17.945%. With an anticipation this week's private auction might bring in, the private placement might bring in an 18% plus